We're doing a workshop today. It's really hot. We're doing a workshop today on niches. So tell me, hi Gerardo. So tell me who your niche is. So a lot of people do not necessarily know who their niche is. So they wind up targeting niches that do not want them. So the famous story I tell is there was a cereal bar here in Miami at the University of Miami. And they were targeting college kids, and the people who wound up wanting to be at the cereal bar were little kids. And instead of embracing it and saying, hey, well, the little kids, we could do birthday parties, we could team up with local magicians, we can do a whole bunch of things, they actually wound up not um, not pairing with them and losing out on a great opportunity. And then like 3 years later, because they were very rich college kids, lucky them, but they were rich. So they got away with it. They got away with like dumping a lot of money into it. So the niche that you want may not want you. And so that's the challenge that a lot of my clients have is they want to do a course, but they're not necessarily ready to do a course because they're not in touch with who their niche is, because you always have to cater your marketing and your content to your niche. So I always have like a few questions that I ask. Number one is, how open are you to finding other niches besides the niche that you want? So let's say that you are, a nutritionist and you want to write a course on, I always use this example because it's so timely. People who are on Ozempic and their nutrition needs change because they can't eat protein the way that they used to. The food noise is gone, so they really don't have the urge to eat. And so your nutrition changes. So when someone's a nutritionist and they're like, well, yeah, I'd like to do a course, I always say, well, what's trending? Oh, my lamp. What's trending? What's trending? Who do you think is interested in your course? What's trending? Who do you think is interested in your course? And do you have any data? So when you are doing a course, you always have to think about the data that's being presented. And even if you don't have any like real hard data, if you have a social media account, we can see who your niche actually is. So I'm trying, because I have NDAs in place, so I have to be careful. But let's say that let's say that your audience is mostly is mostly skewing male, then you necessarily might not want to do a nutrition class on perimenopause. But if you go into your creator profile, you will see how your audience skews. So the age range, you can even find it on YouTube. It's the um, age range, male or female. And sometimes that's enough. Like the thing with data and finding your niche is you do not have to have a whole bunch of data. We just need a kicking off point. So if you guys want to tap right now, sorry, not tap, write in the comments what you think your niche will be. I'm going to pull up and I'll show you how to find out if that's the niche that you want. Well, that's the niche that you want. And then we'll find out if that's the niche that wants you. So type in the comments who you think your niche is, and I'll show you some tricks to figure it out. But yeah, basically, as long as you have gender and you have around the age group, you can figure out a lot, particularly for, like I said, someone who's a nutritionist. You could target the people who are on Ozempic, like the college kids. I'm sure college kids are on Ozempic. The college kids that are on Ozempic. Or if you wanted to go hyper niche, perimenopausal women who are on Ozempic, like that would just be phenomenal. That would be so phenomenal. So the people that you think want you, do they want you back? And I mean, that really goes for a lot of things in life, unfortunately. But yeah. So what if you have no data whatsoever, you can use your social media profiles. You can see who's in the audience. You can see who's in the audience. So we're looking for gender, and we are looking for age group, and we are looking for your ideas. And I did a video this week that was talking about what happens if you have a lot of course ideas. And you might think, oh my God, guys, it's really hot. So if my hair is like a little frizzy, yeah, it's because it's boiling hot here in Miami. But age group and gender. And then the video that I did this week was what happens if you have a lot of course ideas. You just pick one. Just pick one course idea. You do not need a whole bunch of course ideas. You do not need to think of a series. You just need to start off with one course idea. So you need to have one idea for one niche and one message, because getting caught up with, oh my God, I have all these ideas, I have all these levels of expertise. That's wonderful. That's not going to sell anything. If you are, let's say that you really are into nutrition and you're into Reiki, and then you're into, hairdressing, let's just say, then you trying to put all of them together and offer different courses is not going to work, because you have to specialize. The one thing that I learned in marketing is you have to have a niche within a niche. And oh my God, my hair, sorry. It's driving me nuts. So once you are hyper specialized and hyper focused, you are already ahead of the game, because you need to be as hyper focused as you possibly can be. So a niche within a niche. So the example I used was, you're a nutritionist and you're targeting women, perimenopausal women 40 to 45 who are on Ozempic, and their nutrition needs change. So as you get older and into that age group, you need more protein. And then while you are on Ozempic, you also need a whole bunch of protein. So, so you could do a course on that. And I know several women who would take it and love it. So you have that. But you guys drop in the comments, drop in the chat, what your course idea is, and we'll go over it. But yeah, you have to have one course idea, one niche, and one message. That's it. Because otherwise you can't be known for everything. What is it like? I don't know if you guys are into Vanderpump Rules, but you can't pull a Shishu and be a friend to everyone, because a friend to everyone is a friend to none, as we learned this season. So the idea of, I have a lot of course ideas, I have a lot of messages, I have this, that, and the other. You have to whittle everything down. Specificity is your friend. So one niche, one message. One niche, one message. That is the drum that I beat every day. So drop in the chat your course idea, and then we can go over the niche. But it's important to realize, and it's important to know, that having a lot of ideas is great, but it's not good for your marketing. It's not good for your class. So we're just focusing on one message in one niche. So if you guys could tap the screen, but tell me what your course idea is, and we'll see if the niche you want is also the niche that wants you. Sorry, my dog is walking in and out. She's drinking a lot of water. It's very hot here in Miami. I was supposed to take her to the park before I did my live, but it was too hot. Yeah, so tell me what your course idea is, and then tell me what who you think your niche is, and we'll go over it. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting all these notifications. So yeah, tell me what your course is going to be about, who you think your niche is, and then we'll go through it. So to keep going, so you figure out if you don't know who your niche is, or think about who's interested in your topic. So hopefully you're talking about this topic on social media. So you should be able to mine the data that's being used on social media. So that means the gender of the people who are your audience and their age group. And basically, that's all you kind of need. I mean, there's more to it, but that's what you need to kick off. So the age group, male or female. And then based on that, and that you can find it out on either platform. And then I mean, my platforms change a little bit because I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. But I'm on LinkedIn too, but I don't use it that much because I'm happy at my full-time job. So the people who have been liking my stuff on LinkedIn were my like colleagues, and I'm like, I don't want them to unnecessarily worry. But if you have a social media platform, like you have TikTok, you have LinkedIn, you have Reddit, Instagram, anything else that I haven't thought of, there's data information there that you can use, and that's like a really good kicking off point. So that's what you can use to kick it off. And then based on that, you think, well, what is my course idea? Like, so I've been using the example of, okay, side note, it's really odd. I used to have a lot of squirrels in my trees outside, and now it's just all lizards, all iguanas, they're really annoying. And my dog likes to eat them. But so you go to your social media profile, and then you should be talking already what your course is going to be about. So basically what you do is that's what your course is going to be about, and you figure out you're posting with what your course is, and then the material that's going to be in your course, the content on some level, and then you go and you see your analytics, and you see which gender is following you and their age group. And then you sit there and you think to yourself, is this like a profile that I resonate with, one, and two, and that I am a part of. So like I would be really into a creator that was all about 3.5 splenic projectors and human design. So if you can't see yourself within the niche, that's fine. But see if you know someone around you that's part of that niche. And then that way you can ask them more questions. But what I usually do for my clients, they never do it for themselves because Nana makes it for you. Okay. I do the research for my clients. So let's say that, they're a dog trainer and they have a specific technique that they use. So what I do is I go on Reddit, and then I find the communities that are dedicated to that dog training philosophy. My dog might bark here in a second. We have some bad dogs that live next door. I'm not speaking of dog training. They're not bad dogs. Their owners are just very undisciplined with them. So let's say that you are, doing dog training, and you have a very specific philosophy that you follow. Let's just call it the Josh Reynolds philosophy. This is just something I made up. So you go into Reddit and you type in the Josh Reynolds' philosophy of dog training, or, combinations of that. And you will find communities dedicated to that philosophy. And then within that, spend like, I would book 2 or 3 hours. You can even get your virtual assistant, your VA, to do it for you. That's sometimes what I have mine do. Um, yeah, what's it called? Um, and just go through the communities, go through the threads, and see what questions constantly pop up. And don't think that there won't be. There'll be a ton of questions, comments, and then the other thing, so I look for questions, I look for comments, and then I look for emotions, because humans are super emotional creatures. And we really, oh, I got new glasses and they're super tight. We really, ooh, we are humans. And so we thrive on emotions. So see where the emotions are in the threads, the comment section, what have you. And then, so see what's causing like a lot of emotion, and then see what are the people fighting about. And I guarantee you, it does not matter whatever your topic is, there is someone who is diametrically opposed to it, like thinks it's like the worst thing in the world, which is good for you because strong emotion sells. So go through the comment section, the threads, see questions, comments, and the emotions. So see what people are arguing about. Again, I promise you, there is no niche in the world where everyone agrees on everything. I mean, my favorite niche in the world is hobby horse niches and the community, because I think these girls work really hard, and I think it's beautiful that they found a passion. And the biggest thing that they get arguments about is whether or not hobby horse is like a real sport. I think it is. I think it's great. I mean, I don't know if you've seen those girls jump, but my God, they can fly. And so, um, that's a lot of strong emotion. No, I am. Mm-mm. So I let someone join my live the other day, and they just basically were making pervy comments, and it's like, thanks, dude. I'm in a heat wave in Miami. That's all I need is someone making comments. It's really hot. Um, so sorry about the frizz. I keep on saying that, but so that's what you do is you go to your social media platform, you figure out the age and the gender that most follows your content, and then you whittle down your course idea. Then you go to social, it's called social listening. So you go to what people are talking about. So there's one, it's called answerthepublic.com. Let me put it here. So it's answerthepublic.com. Or is it Ask the Public? It's Answer the Public, I think. Neil Patel bought a share of it. So you can then see what it is. So it's a combination of social media listening, social listening, and SEO. So it's really kind of fabulous. And then if you want to do a little bit more, you can buy. You can buy a subscription, but the free works pretty well. That's what I use a lot with my clients. So you go and you go there. So then you see what kind of resonates. So niches, especially in the beginning, can be pretty fickle. Like you may not think that like you're hitting hitting it off with them or anything like that, because niches tend to be a little bit territorial, which is, I think, something that you can use for your advantage. You should have to work a little bit to get into the niche. And I'm not saying, you flop, but I'm saying you have to sit there and really do your research and really see what they're interested in, see what they're talking about on their forums. So you will, I mean, Reddit's probably the best place. And then next is Facebook. And then if it's a really professional, like I had some clients that were like life coaches. So I always recommended that they um, go to where your niche is. Do your SEO and see what the keywords are that you can track for. But just basically for your niche is um, go to your social media platforms, go to your analytics, and then see who, as a starting off point, this is not super in depth. As a starting off point, see who the gender is and their age group, and then write down a list of your course ideas and then see how it would fit into that. And then you take that and then you go even deeper. And and then you see that way. So I'm just trying to think other ways that I can describe a niche for you. Sometimes they say that strangers are friends you haven't met yet. So kind of think of your niche like that. And then based on that, you can create a buyer persona to target your content and your marketing to. So I worked for a pet insurance company that had a very interesting, very young CEO, shall we say. And he did very in-depth market research. And based on that, they had all these buyer personas. And, it was very eye-opening because they paid thousands of dollars to find their buyer personas, to do their market research. And I said to them, I'm going to go on social, answer the public, and a couple of other Reddit groups, and I'm going to see if I can pretty well match up what you spent thousands of dollars doing market research. I mean, of course, the market research that they spent thousands of dollars on was more in depth than what I did, but it was basically the same thing. So um, I never recommend spending thousands of dollars on market research, because there's so many free options there. And if you're pressed for time, then of course. But I have a few videos here on market research. So you find your groups, and then you basically just ask them, uh, you know, describe your ideal day. So let's say that you're with a woman who's 45 years old and she's taking Ozempic. So her ideal day is, the kids are gone with their dad and they have a day to themselves so they can get their nails done. And, you're not hungry when you're on Ozempic. That's the whole thing. Um, and, your food noise is cut out. That's what I know from my friends who are on Ozempic. I obviously am not on Ozempic. Um, but the food noise is gone. So you really can't listen to your body because, whoa, sorry, my dog moved. You're basically, um, you're basically not able to, you're basically not able to hear the food noise. So, you know, they would pack their food and their snacks and they would go about the day. So I would say like a 45 woman who's on Ozempic is, she's feeling like she's nourishing her body properly, even though a lot of her signals have been shut down, that she's nourishing her bodies properly for longevity, for bone health, for all her changes in her body. So that would be their ideal day. And then ask them about their frustrations and their pain points. Because the one thing I've learned about humans being in marketing for as long as I have is they love to complain. They tend to be more on the negative than on the positive side of things of life. So, so focus a lot on question 2 with, what are your pain points? What are your frustrations? The old thing, what keeps you up at night? So their ideal day, um, their frustrations, their pain points. Because in marketing, it's very important to address objections. That's what I learned from one of my friends who's a marketing genius. She's so smart. Um, your marketing should address aspirations and objectives equally because people want hope, but people also love to complain. So when you are doing your market research, describe your ideal day. And this is particular to your niche, whatever your niche is. If you guys want to type into the chat uh, who you think your niche is, and I'll tell you if it's right or not. And then I'll show you some of the tricks that I use that I've gone over a little bit here. But so describe their ideal day, their problems and challenges. And the third one is, what would you pay for your ideal day? What would you pay to have the resources to have your ideal day? And the answer might surprise you. Sometimes people are willing to pay a lot. I mean, people are paying $250 a month for Ozempic. So obviously, when people really want something, their pockets are deep. Doesn't matter what it is, as long as I was listening to a song today in Pilates that was like, I knew my rent was going to be late a week ago, but I have just enough to enjoy myself at the club tonight. And I was like, this is so, so human that um we may not have enough for the basics, but we will sure splurge for what we want. Um so yeah, so first question is ideal day, second is frustrations, 3, how much would you pay? And then the fourth one is, would you be my first student or one of my first groups of students or in my beta group or my testing group or however one you phrase it. So those are the steps you need to take. So you go to your social media platform, you figure out your the gender that watches most of your material that's based on the course that you want to write or have me write. Then you look at the gender and you look at the age group. And then go and see which of your videos have done really, really well. And the ones that have done really well, zero in on what they did well in. And maybe you only have one comment on that video, but that comment can tell you everything. So, um, okay. So that could be, so sorry, the dog is wanting to go out. So it's, go to your social media platforms, see the age group and the gender, then go see the videos that did well, see if there's any comments or anything like that. If there's not, don't panic. You're going to go to ask the public, answer the public, and then you're going to do what's called social listening. So you're going to figure out what hot topics are, and then you're going to go to those hot topics, and then you're going to go to the comment section of the threads. You're going to see what questions they're asking. You're going to see what is making the communities very emotional. So we said the Josh Mitchell. Oh my God, I'm so tired. The Josh Reynolds dog training philosophy, and people will love it or hate it and see why, and see what causes the communities to emotionally react. And based on that, you will have your course idea, and you can also figure out who your niche is based on that. So I hope you guys have had a good time. I have to take the dog out, but I look forward to answering your questions on another live. Bye.